take it over.
So it's my hope that you can hear me from that very end. So I'm going to take you through this topic on how to achieve academic excellence. I'm your presenter. My name is Simon from Mombasa. So I will be taking you through the process of academic excellence. So we need to understand what is academic excellence first. And we can say that academic excellence refers to the highest level of achievement in scholarly activities. So it encompasses or comprises of not only achieving the outstanding grades, but demonstrating the range of qualities and practices that contribute to superior academic performance. So there are some components that resort to academic excellence, and one of them is high academic performance. So you can gauge the academic performance by looking at the grades and also the test scores. When someone is actually earning high marks, it means that their performance is a bit high. When the grades are or the marks are low, it means again they are graded with lower um, performance. So those are some of the components that we can actually use. The other thing is also mastering of the knowledge. So how can we master knowledge? Number one is through comprehensive understanding. So when a student is going through, for example, a subject or a topic, they should be able to grasp that subject in detail, and they should be able also to know and also understand how they can be able to apply this knowledge on specific practical scenarios. And number two is also trying to dig into details on how those specific areas are also maybe treated with others or maybe even with other fields. So at that point, we can say that this person has actually mastered the knowledge of this specific subject matter or this specific topic. Then you have got interaction, curiosity, and engagement. So active learning encompasses of the actively asking questions by the students or maybe by the runners, and with this asking of the questions and trying also to get deep understanding, they will be able to learn more. So that curiosity of trying to understand something into detail also ensures that the runners are able to excel academically and they're able to gather more knowledge. Then there's exploration beyond the curriculum. It is pursuing additional learning opportunities like independent research, reading, and also trying to engage with extracurricular activities that are also related to the field of study. So this is knowledge beyond now the classroom or the lecture rooms or the lecture halls. So the student, the runner, is supposed to even go beyond that so that they're able to understand even what is actually outside the lecture halls or the lecture rooms. Then there's effective study habits. So being able to excel academically, it requires one to develop very good study habits, and these are the ones that are able to result to good academic performance. Now we have got time management, of which is one of the study good study habits. So organizing study time effectively and balancing the academic and personal responsibilities. One is able to know when to study, when you feel like maybe you can be able to understand a certain concept well. It's always good as a runner or a student to know your body algorithm, and also be able to know when to do a certain thing, when you're supposed to do a certain maybe subject when you have got home, so maybe even your own personal activities that you want to do, at that point you'll be managing your time very, very well, and therefore with this now you're going to excel academically, because you'll be able to balance academic and your own personal activities. When you look at the study techniques, we have got different ways in which different people normally use when they are studying. There's someone who can actually learn every now and then for them to grasp the concept. Others will actually have spaced repetition. Others will do critical analysis. So if you use any of these methods, you'll be able to understand the concept. There are people who actually just read through the content just one time and they're able to understand. Others have to keep on repeating again and again and again. So these study techniques vary from one individual to another. And therefore, it's good for you to understand which is your study technique, so that if you're able to understand your study technique, it makes your work very easy. Then you've got personal attributes and attitudes. This developing a strong drive to succeed and the self-discipline to stay focused on academic goals. Now, if you don't have goals, if you're not motivated, if you don't have self-discipline, automatically you're not going to achieve anything when it comes to academic, because you have to keep focused on your goals. You have to aim towards achieving your goals. So your motivation will be derived from whatever you want to achieve. Then there is a resilience and also adaptability. And you can say that this is overcoming challenges and setbacks while adapting to changing academic demands. So there are some times that maybe in academic, some topics are very challenging, and you have to ensure that whatever is required of you to understand that specific concept, you have to have that resilience. No matter what comes along the way, you have to understand the concept and you have to pursue that. That's what we are referring to as resilience, adaptability. Your brain has to adapt to the learning. Then there is ethical and professional standards. And this is upholding principles of honesty, fairness in all the academic work. Like for example, avoiding copy pasting work from someone else. That's what we are referring to as plagiarism. And also following ethical guidelines, ensuring that you fair to yourself. Whatever you, maybe for example, if it's an exam, whatever you're presenting on the paper is what you actually know. It's your work, and whatever you get is your hard-earned work. So that's what we are referring to as ethical and professional standards. We should align with integrity, academic integrity. This is what we can be able to be proud of. Now, how can we set goals to achieve academic excellence? Now, when we set goals normally gives us direction, motivation, and also the framework or the guidelines that we're supposed to follow. And this one is also supposed to assist us measure our progress. So this comprehensive guide, we can actually use it to know our progress. So number one, we can be able to understand the importance of goal settings. Now, this is through the direction and the focus that we'll be following. So because our focus is to achieve a certain goal that we have set up at the individual level. There's also what is motivating us. So when we have got clear goals that can inspire us, we are able to have that energy from within that normally pushes us to achieve whatever we want. Without this motivation from within ourselves, it's not easy to realize academic excellence. Then from this, now we have got measurements of our goals, and this we can be able to measure our goals through whatever we are achieving. Maybe as someone who is pursuing a bachelor's, your goal is to maybe aim for a first class or maybe a second class. That is like a measurement. It's like it's measuring your ability to reach a certain level. So those goals provide benchmarks for assessing our progress and our success. We can also be able to set SMART goals. So SMART goals are specific, they are measurable, they are achievable, relevant, and also time bound. So they help us create clear and actionable objectives. So number one, you have to be the goals have to be very specific. Like for example, I've given an example here of, for example, someone who wants to do better in math, but they're supposed to say, I want to improve my algebra test scores by 10%. Just be specific, because maths is a broad field. So there's that specific area that you feel, this is what I'm actually not good at. So you just focus yourself on that specific area. Then there is we should set SMART goals that are achievable. Sometimes we should not aim too high where we cannot be able to get or actually to attain. So it's good to have something that we can be able to achieve, and now this can be based on where we are at the moment. So depending again on the level that you are in academically, you can be able again now to set slightly higher than that. Next time set a bit higher than that. As the saying goes, that forward ever, backward never. So whatever you're achieving, no matter how little it is, but you're progressing, it's far much better than remaining stagnant or going behind. But again, don't aim too high where it's actually going to maybe disappoint you if you don't reach at that point. Then we should also set goals that are relevant. Now we should align our goals with the broad academic and career aspiration. For example, if you're aiming for a career in engineering, focusing on advanced math and science skills are relevant. So it's always good to be very specific, like do an analysis. This is what I want. Then what am I required of knowing? Because you cannot study everything at the same time. There's always that thing that you want to achieve. Now bring all the specific areas that you need to concentrate on so that they're able to make you achieve whatever you want, because we have got different fields, and therefore now you have already narrowed down to the one that you want to achieve. So when you bring all these together, those specific areas that you have to improve on, they'll make your work easy because you're just focusing on a specific point. Now we have time as a factor as well when we're setting goals. So again, we should be able to set deadlines to achieve our goals. For example, I will finish my research paper by the end of the semester. So you run in again towards the time, because by the end of the semester, you want to see your goals being achieved. So your brain is set now that I have to complete this specific research project by this time, and therefore you'll be working towards that time frame. So again, that's how we can that's another goal that can be able to assist us be able to recognize academic excellence. Now sometimes we need to break down goals into smaller steps. These ones we can group them in terms of the actionable steps. For example, you can break down maybe a course into units, then from the units into topics. So it becomes very easy because for every unit that you're studying in the course, again, there are some topics that are covered there. So if you break down that way, it becomes very easy. You cannot just study everything. And the time that you have got your checklist of this is what I have managed, this is what I've managed, your work becomes very, very easy. Then there's also the timeline, assigning deadlines to each step to maintain the momentum, and also ensure that there is steady progress. So with the timeline, again, is you're able to work against the timeline, and from there you'll be able to know how long is this due. Is it due in 2 days, in 5 weeks, there is an exam maybe in the next 2 weeks, in the next 1 week, then what am I supposed to do because the exam is in the next 1 week? So again, from here, you'll be able to come up with some actions that are going to assist you maybe to do revision towards that specific exam that you'll be doing. So time frame. Then there's also developing a study plan. So study plan varies from one individual to another. There are people who will actually go with a daily study plan. Others will have to set a weekly plan, depending again on how they are, depending again on their daily activities. So it is good to allocate specific times, for example, each week for studying and maybe for completing your assignments, for doing research, and also even for other things as well, because there's this saying that all praying, all studying and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So you have to mix, you have to balance the academic study and also ensuring that you're also balancing your normal life as well. And this one now can be brought about if you have got a very good study plan. So the schedules that you're making, ensure that you also balance it away from study, you're also doing other things as well. Still on the study plan, we have got prioritization, and this is ranking tasks by importance and deadlines, and here focusing on the high priority tasks and deadlines first. So what again is too soon, ensure that you give it more time so that again you're not caught up by time. Then there's also utilizing resources and support, and this is using academic resources such as tutoring services. You can join study groups. You can also maybe even join online. You can even have online tools to support your goals. So here you're able to hear what other people are also talking about a certain field, about a certain area of study that you're pursuing. And therefore, with whatever you have, you can be able to merge with that. It's always good to seek mentorships from teachers, from lecturers, from advisors, from mentors to guide you, and also take feedback on your progress. And the feedback can be in the form of your academic reports. So this one again will be able to even coach you and be able to bring you on the right track. Now, we cannot recognize academic excellence without managing our time. So time management is planning and controlling how much time to spend on specific activities, and also to make the most of your time and achieve your goals efficiently. So benefits, we have improved organization. There is you are actually organized because there's a way you're able to know that this specific time of the day I'm supposed to do this specific time of the hour I'm supposed to be doing this, and there is reduced procrastination. The way that your brain is wired, in most cases, people always tend to like push things forward. I'm not going to do it right now. Let me do it in the evening. When the evening comes, again, you push it to morning hours. So there's that reduced procrastinations when you plan your time well. There's also enhanced productivity, and there's also balanced lifestyle. So for the productivity is because there's nothing that you're leaving behind. So everything you're able to accomplish it on time. Now for the balanced lifestyle, you're able to balance your academic study, and you're also able to balance your normal lifestyle. So how can we manage our time so that we can recognize academic excellence? Now, number one, you need to assess your current time usage. It's always good to call yourself a meeting, try to understand how you have been using your time. That's number one. So you can even use a tracking tool or a journal to monitor how you currently spend your time over a week. So with this, you'll be able to know whether you're utilizing your time well, or in most cases you're giving priorities to things that are even not that beneficial to you. You also need to identify time wasters. Time wasters are those activities that we normally do, and least they benefiting us, maybe mentally, like people are on TikTok all day, your social media all day. These are some of the time wasters. Maybe this time you could be on, you could be doing academic research or academic stuff, and at this point, it means this is a time waster. So we should be able to identify them so that we're able to know which ones we're going to reduce and how we're going to organize our time. Now, we should also be able to set clear priorities. So here we can list our academic tasks and responsibilities and also prioritize them based on deadlines, like how we had seen earlier. We can use the Eisenhower matrix. This categorizes tasks into 4 quadrants, like urgent and important, important but not urgent, urgent but not important, neither urgent nor important. So if you use this matrix, you're going to see how you can be able to sort your activities quite well. So, like for example, urgent and important, you give it the highest priority. Important but not that urgent, it can wait a little bit. Urgent but not important, again that one again can wait a little bit. Neither urgent nor important. If you organize your work like that, you always be able to ensure that you prioritize what is best. And in this case, academically, it should be urgent and important. It should be given the first priority. Then other things should be able to uh, come later, because for you to realize good academic excellence, you have again to ensure that you have to give your studies the highest priority. Then you can also create a study schedule. So here we have said that we can use a weekly planner or a daily schedule, and this right now with this technology you can have even some digital tools like digital calendars. You can have digital schedule templates that you can download from the internet, go through them and edit them, and have a very good a standard schedule that you can be following from time to time. So here you can allocate it study sessions, and maybe depending again on how the timetables um, from the school or from the college, from the university, the way you actually the way they have been organized, you can sort them there. And again, you can also create your own time as well for doing assignments, for other commitments, for doing research. And from here, you'll be able to realize that now your time will be very strict on the timings, and you'll be able to follow all this. At the end of the day, just go through them, marking what you have managed, what you have not managed, and try to see every now and then how you can be able to ensure that you cover everything in a day. This will be on weekly. You can create your own weekly report and your own daily report, maybe every evening. Before we wind up, there's the study techniques. I'll be summarizing them again here. So these ones are essential for achieving academic excellence, and they help us understand, retain, and also apply information more efficiently. Now, number one is active learning. So it's always good to do a summarization. So after reading a section or completing a lecture, summarize the key points in your own words, and this will reinforce your understanding and memory. So you'll be able like to see the clear picture of the entire topic by just grasping through the summarized points. And then questioning, asking question about the material. Why is this important? How does this connect to what I already know? Because again, this will try to deepen your comprehension, and you'll be able to understand this topic in details. Now, teaching others is also a very good technique. The more you explain something to someone else, the more you're able even to understand it even further. So if you discuss the content amongst your peers, amongst your friends, classmates, colleagues, so this will enforce and it will try to bring more clarity, and you'll be able to understand even whatever you were reading on your own, even far much better now that you'll be able to even as you'll be able to engage your colleagues, maybe in a group discussion, you'll be able also to hear their view from their end, your view from your side, and you have a lot of clarity. That is one technique, active learning. Then there is spaced repetition, the second one. And this is reviewing the materials at increasing intervals over time. So this technique um, it takes the scenario of transferring the information from the short-term memory to long-term memory, just like the way the computer operates from RAM to hard drive. So for short-term memory, this memory does not last for a very long time. But the more we introduce the concept of repeating things, now the brain will have now to move this information from the short-term to the long-term memory, where you can be able to even remember this for a very long time. There's the retrieval practice, and this is testing yourself regularly on the materials that you have been studying, reading the notes as a student, and this will enhance the recall and the strength neural connections. Because if you read something without practicing, maybe through questions, through challenging quizzes, your brain will always tell you that you have understood everything. But by the time you do more practices, practice questions, that's when again you realize that you need to maybe to emphasize or to give attention on some specific topics. And therefore now this one will even improve your memory and even your understanding level when you study. There is the active note taking. Now, if you're listening to a lecture and you're not taking notes and someone else is taking notes, the person who is taking notes at some point, they're able to understand the concept, and later they can even be able to go through what the short summarized notes that they were noting down, and they'll be able to like remember all the content the way it was, like other than someone who is just listening. Though we've got different ways of maybe understanding the concepts, but it's always good to note down some notes as you study, as you listen to lectures, and in this case, it makes your work easy and your brain will be able to comprehend most of some hard topics that are maybe being taught, and because you'll be able to remind yourself through those specific key points that you're noting down. Then there is mind mapping. This creating visual diagrams that connects concepts and ideas, and this helps organize information and visualize relationship between the topics. How is this connected to this other topic? Try to see a little examples of the same concepts outside the classroom. So sometimes when we also draw like visual diagrams, you can be able to understand the flow. Like a student who is in a programming class, those data flow diagrams will always give you a concept of how the system is supposed to flow. It makes your work very easy when it comes to understanding. There's also the outline methods in structuring your notes in a hierarchical format with main topics and subtopics. So you can be able also to understand this on a lighter note in terms of the topics and subtopics, and also now in details you can be able to look at the content. So the outlining method again is also very, very important. You can be able like to summarize an entire topic through just outlining a few points, and from there now every point you can be able to see how you can be able to dig into details that specific point all the way. Other than active note taking, we've got time management techniques. So time management techniques, we're going to look at it in Pomodoro technique. So work in a focused intervals should be followed by a short break. At 4 intervals, take a longer break of maybe between 15 to 30 minutes. This helps maintain focus and prevent burnout. Now, you cannot study for like 3 hours continuously. Your brain requires to have some interval breaks at some point, and therefore this will be like a refresher. Now, by the time you resume, your brain will have been able to relax a little bit, and you'll be able to even be more focused to listen to maybe to the lecturer or the instructors who are training you, and at that point it makes your work easy. So if you compare someone who has been seated for 4 hours lecture without a break, and someone who has been taking short breaks from time to time. You realize that their understanding would be very, very different. The ones who have got these short breaks intervals will have understood more content than the other person. Then you've got time blocking. It is allocating specific blocks of time for studying, assignments, and other tasks. And therefore, sticking to these blocks to manage time effectively can be very, very effective. So, like, for example, you can allocate 2 hours to study an assignment, an hour, maybe other tasks, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, depending again on the how much content you're covering. So this makes your work easy because from that you'll be able to narrow down your key areas quite well that you want to focus on. Now, how can we maintain well-being when we are achieving academic excellence and the overall success? Now, number one, we need to balance academic and personal life. It's always good to ensure that we live in a balanced life. So prioritize self-care. This setting aside time each day for activities that makes you relax, rejuvenate, like reading, doing some hobbies, and even spending time with your loved ones, like family. Then there's also scheduling the downtime, ensuring that your schedules includes time for relaxation and personal interest, and not just the academic responsibilities. And there's also the creating of boundaries. This is separating study time with personal time and avoiding studying in spaces associated with relaxation, such as your bed or living room. So you need to be in an area that is where you can actually focus. Studying in bedroom or living room at some point, you will not be able to concentrate so much. Be in an area where you can be able to focus. If you give 2 hours of studying, you'll be able to like utilize the 2 hours. Your brain will not be diverted to other activities. Then there's stress management. So we need to identify the factors that introduce stress, and recognizing sources of stress can be a very healthy. Like, for example, heavy workloads, rooming deadlines, addressing them proactively. Now, from time to time, you realize that you're human beings and your brain will always at some point burn out. Maybe you have got a very huge project, you want to cover this, exams are back to back. Maybe you have a lot of revision materials that you have to go through. So at this point, you need to know how you're going to address this. So you need to develop mindfulness and relaxation techniques. So you can maybe do meditation, mindfulness, deep breathing exercises to reduce stress and enhancing focus. So this will make your brain to release that tension of that pressure of like trying to absorb everything at once. Then there's the progressive muscle relaxation. This is the techniques that we can actually use, or that involves tensing and then relaxing muscle groups to alleviate the physical stress. So relaxing your muscles. Again, it will depend from one individual to another, but again, depending again on the activities that you do to reduce stress, they always be very, very healthy. There's a physical health that can also boost us. One is regular exercises. You can engage in physical activities to improve your mood, energy levels, cognitive functions, and this can aim for at least even 30 minutes for moderate exercise. Um, if you're doing it maybe weekly or maybe every day, there's balanced nutrition. Remember, your brain is also consuming a lot of energy. You have to ensure that you also feed. So in this case, you can in your diet you can include fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, whole grains, and ensure that you avoid excessive caffeine, sugary foods that can lead to energy crashes in your body. Because this one again might bring you a lot of problems when it comes to concentration when you're studying. There's also adequate sleep. Maintain a consistent sleep schedule. We can aim this between 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night. Again, it will all depend again amongst the individuals. So good sleep is essential for memory consolidation and overall health. So sleep is always a therapy that can be able to assist us maintain our health, maintain our immunity. Then there's the mental and emotional well-being. So sometimes when things are not okay, we should be able to reach out to friends, family, and counselors. If you feel or feeling overwhelmed, maybe there's something that is challenging you and you cannot be able to um, understand even whatever you're learning because you have got maybe some personal problems that are making you lose focus. So talking about your feelings can provide relief and perspective, maybe from how other people will also be able to see your problems and they can be able to assist you. There's also developing and coping strategies. So you can have strategies for managing stress and negative emotions, like journaling. You can talk to a mentor. You can engage in creative activities, and you can even maybe uh, practice gratitude. This is reflecting on and appreciating positive aspects of your life. Like for example, you can do an analysis of like this month, this is what I've been able to achieve. I have been able to cover these specific topics that I thought were very complicated. I've been able to do a research on this. I've been, if for example, you in IT have been able to develop this specific systems. Is doing this and that. I thought it was very complicated. Now, from those small achievements, they are going to give you energy to even achieve more. So keeping a gratitude journal can help shift focus from stress to positive experiences. So how can we enhance class performance in academic excellence? So one is active participation. It is engaging in class discussions, ensuring that you ask questions when you're in class. Always be prepared. Always read ahead of the lecturers during lectures. Ensure that you have all it takes when you're in class. Notebooks are there. You have some questions that you've prepared to ask in class. And then the next thing that you need to have it is effective note taking. Adopt the practice of taking notes, like the Cornell method, there's the training method, the mind mapping. Now, depending again on the one that you choose, go with them. Then always highlight the key points. So the important details at some points, if you note them down, they'll be able to allow you to focus on the essential or the important points in a specific topic. Then review and revise the notes. From time to time, it's always good to ensure that you keep repeating what you have studied, what you have learned, and that will make your work very, very easy. Um, Time management for classwork, there's planning ahead, keeping a track of deadlines, exams, and assignments, avoiding last minute cramming because time is not on your side. There's the study strategies we have mentioned earlier. There's active learning techniques, spaced repetition, practice, retrieval. There's also the organization skills. Keep your materials well organized all the time. Create study guides. Remember, you'll be studying through those guides. So they make your work easy because you're able to know where you started from and what you're supposed to cover. Maybe at the end of the semester, at the end of the module, or at the end of the term. Then building strong relationships in academic excellence. Now, relationships can provide support. They can enhance your learning and creating opportunities for personal and academic growth. It's how you relate with your instructors, with your lecturers, even with your amongst your classmates or your colleagues. So at that point, relationship with instructors can make your work very easy because the way you approach them, you give them respect. You're not fearing to ask the questions in class, and you'll be able to gain a lot when you're learning in the schools. So there is engaging actively. So attending lectures, regularly participating in the discussions, and showing genuine interest in the subject. So this will make you stand out and foster a positive relationship with your instructors. And there's also utilizing office hours, making sure that you're not coming to ask questions on on the wrong timings. Make sure that you use the office hours to ask questions, seek clarifications on difficult topics, discuss your progress, and this will show initiative and a willingness to learn. Now, as we had mentioned earlier, it's always good to request feedback on your assignments, the grades that you got, and therefore you'll be able to know how far uh, as far as your goals are concerned. Are you improving or are you deteriorating? Now, this can be only be seen from your reports. Now, be respectful and professional, communicate respectfully and professionally, and adhere to the deadlines and academic integrity policies. Now, this will always build a respectful and a positive rapport. So, from your instructors, from your lecturers, and with that respect and professionalism, you'll also be able to take the same to the field once you're done with the learning. Now, relationship with the peers. It's always good to study to form study groups for discussions, participate in class activities, ensure that every activity that is handled in the in lecture rooms or in the classrooms, you're there. You're not left behind. Offer help and support where you can. Build a supportive network can enhance everyone's learning experience. You're also able to learn from the others, and you can also be able to assist others as well. The other thing is building trust, is developing trust by being reliable and also respecting others' opinions and contributing positively to group work. Then there is relationships with academic advisors and the mentors. Always ensure that you seek guidance all the time. Find a mentor, someone has who is like a professional. Maybe you stuck. You don't know what whether what you're doing is the right thing or not, whether you're on the right track. But with a mentor, they can offer advice. They can be able to share their experiences, and they can be able to provide an encouragement. So mentors can be faculty members, professionals, or even senior students. Then build a long-term relationship. This is maintaining regular contact with your advisors or with your mentors from time to time, so that even after you're done with your learning, still in the future you can be able to seek guidance from them, and this one will be able to uh, make your progress move very well without you getting astray along the way. Then there's relationships with the family and friends. Always share your academic goals, challenges, and successes with your family and friends. This will help them understand your journey and provide appropriate support. And they always be uh, part of you as you achieve these goals. They always be happy for you. They're seeking emotional support. Lean on family and friends during stressful times. Their support can offer comfort and even help you manage academic pressure. And from there, you also need to balance priorities and maintain a balance between the academic responsibilities and personal relationships. So when you allocate time for family and friends to prevent burnout and foster a supportive environment, um, you need to know how to balance between studying and having time for the family. So more time you spend with your family and friends, the more now you get relieved. You away from the academic a little bit, and you can be a bit relieved. So on the conclusion, so we can say that academic excellence is not solely about achieving high grades, but about fostering a comprehensive approach to learning and personal development. And by setting clear goals, as we have seen, managing time effectively, employing robust study techniques, maintaining well-being, building strong relationships, seeking continuous improvement, you create a solid foundation for academic success. And also remember that excellence is a journey marked by persistence, adaptability, and a commitment to lifelong learning. So embrace the process, Leverage your strengths and remain dedicated to your goals to achieve and sustain academic excellence. So that's my end of my presentation. That's the end of my presentations. Don't know if you've got any questions. Dennis, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Simon.
Yes.
I'm so thankful for that presentation. It was quite timely. I know when you do things, you really do them there, and we really appreciate that.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for the time, and may you have a good time down there in Mombasa.
Okay, welcome. Thank you, Dennis.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Okay. So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everybody who is going to watch this video and attended, and so that this knowledge can actually be disseminated and be of improvement to all our stakeholders, our students, our viewers on our YouTube channels, and all other social media platforms. Thank you so much, and may God bless each and every one of you. Bye-bye.